bit.
I think I caught you saying automatically lube it. Right when I unmuted. I
Yeah.
think I just unmuted you
I
right
was
now.
talking about my airbrush.
Were you? That's what you call it?
I got it.
Yeah.
The trigger was like not seated properly.
Ah, just
That's
pop.
yeah.
When
So I was
A
like,
lot of times you got to get that packing.
The
I
little-
was, I was
down in
doing
the tube.
this, and I was like, there shouldn't be any, but the trigger wasn't working, and it just wasn't seated.
the
so I
thingy
didn't-
wasn't in the hole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Now you're just making it weird.
Not in,
kinda.
not in the hole correctly.
yeah. I
Turned
struggle.
left a little bit.
I struggle to. Yeah, I'm always off on the left. Shout out to chat. Welcome to our new day, Wednesday. Walter Garvey from YouTube. We got a Facebook user tuning in.
Mr. the Facebook user
Yep.
or Ms. Facebook user.
Yeah, but I'm gonna name him Felix. IQ
It's probably Felix or Birdsong.
Recoil tuning in. Saw homie Sir Crow. We're doing this on Wednesdays now. We'll get into it. Walter
Hey,
says,
did you guys? Sorry, did you guys talk about? I didn't like listen in the whole time. I sent you that custody stuff.
no, we didn't.
What the hell?
Walter Garvey, triggered by the lack of clickbait. Marco, ready for Wednesday weirdness. These are from some YouTubers. Wes tuning in says needs more red arrows. I got all the arrows, dog.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
John Patrick
Thought I
says
taught you better.
Wyatt sounds a little robot-y. Let me get a sound check from Wyatt.
He's a little
Check.
echoey.
It's probably just because
Oh,
there's
there's
nothing
nothing
in here.
in your room.
Yeah.
You have an echo.
Are you in a closet? What are you in?
This is my office.
There's
Oh.
just nothing in it, so
Yeah,
it's no
I
sound.
had that problem. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
I've
got
had that problem.
wooden
before.
floors and big walls with nothing breaking up the sound right now. How far away is your mic from your face? Normal distance you use?
Like this far.
You have a stupid-
If you have an easy means in which to bring it closer to your face and lower the sensitivity on it, that will solve some of these problems. But if not, don't overthink it. You'll slowly start having things in your room. LT.
I can't tell if I'm turning up or down.
If you can change what I do is I just leave the gain in the same place, and then I just change the sensitivity on my on the sound settings bar, like in the computer. Right click sound, go to Yeti. I'll lower the sensitivity. Like right here, I have it this close to my face. It's 70. When I have it that far away, I have it 100. But you're gonna catch more environment. But if you can't, if it's not easily done, who fucking cares? LT's
here.
What's up, brother? Christian. Shout out to Long War. Cletus. Wyatt, you moved to San Diego. There's an awesome rum bar called False Idol. Oh, I love that name. That's tight. It is inside another bar near the Gas Lamp District.
Oh, okay. I know what gas is.
There's a gas lamp district? That's wild.
Yeah. How's this sound?
So what?
How's that sound?
So
Really
you,
low.
you turn the sensitivity down, so therefore you're harder to hear. So now if you can move it closer to your face, it would fix it.
How about now? Good.
Give me some like audible mic checks.
Test. Test.
At that volume, same echo, same bounce.
Test. I'll put it at 80%. See what that does.
You're gonna have to. So the thing you're trying to avoid is having to talk loud so it doesn't echo. That's why the position closer to your face.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I got like 5 other fucking things I need to do. I gotta close these blinds.
Oh, you look great with natural light.
Yeah, but it hurts my eyes.
Why are
It's
you
like
always in front of
there's
the
white-
sun
there's
everywhere
white
you
rock
move?
Over here.
I was like, damn, look at this man's complexion in the fucking golden
Sun
hour
looks so
in the
good.
golden hour of fucking California.
Yeah, it's definitely dark here.
Yeah. Garrett, will any of you guys come out to RMO ever?
Rocky Mountain Open.
Garrett, I feel like
I will not.
all you ever do is talk about Rocky Mountain Open.
Well, you gotta respect the hustle.
Is that like your favorite shit ever?
I have a dice update. We have 4 sets left. 4 sets. I'm gonna put a link in chat here. New 40K rules league. That's it? That's all you got?
Yeah.
I thought I taught you better, bro.
Oh, so I just say what it is, and now everyone's mad.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
So I don't clickbait, and then people don't like it.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Said it the first one ever. It's the first one you ever been to. The the Living Tribunal. Yes, we have now moved to Wednesdays.
Yep,
The OG day.
No, it's the original.
it's true.
Yeah.
I remember. All right, what do we got
Four
to talk about
times.
tonight? Did y'all see the Henry Cavill interview?
No. That's
Where
where
he intimidated a whole studio audience.
I rely on you to tell me.
You do
everything.
not stop.
Dog, this has been our thing for 10 years. I don't know anything. Garrett says my dice set just came in. Fuck yeah, dude. LT says, Rob, give me one of those dice sets in my bag.
Okay.
3 dice sets left now? Is that what you're saying?
I guess you get my set.
So Rob will put a link up. There's still 4 left. Let me hear you, Wyatt.
Test.
Sound beautiful.
Test.
Beautiful.
What day is it? Okay.
And that's one of the reasons you see I have all this extra foam on my mic.
Tell me
Is
bits.
this so like when an echo hits the wall, it bounces back behind the hypercardioid. I'm trying to eliminate that with all this excess foam I cut.
If you had to pick a shape to go along with the
Butt.
hypercordoid,
It's a butt.
it's a butt?
It's a butt.
Wow, just unprompted. It's just a butt, huh?
That's what the picture is.
It's obviously
You
a
can
butt. It's a butt.
It is the
you
butt.
can see all the little pictures right here. One of them is a butt.
Yeah, it is.
Hypercardioid is absolutely a butt.
The butt.
John Patrick says, I gotta say those new Long War dice are tight.
Yeah, they are. He did a good job with this. We got to figure out what color we're going to do for next
John
year.
Patrick, what's the butt for? Pooping? Duh. It's pooping it. It's pooping the butt.
It's true.
Recoil got his dice too. He said they're awesome.
Heck yeah. Glad you like them.
So, everybody tuning in. Wyatt's back. He made his big drive from, I guess, is Austin considered East Texas?
No, it's like it's in middle of Texas.
Central Texas?
Yeah.
So he made it from center of Texas all the way to south, the southern, one of the most southern points in California. San Diego.
San Diego.
San Diego.
So we all know it's German for whale's vagina, originally discovered in 1904.
Mhm.
That's not real.
You're right. I was just trying to impress you. Actually, scholars don't know the name. They feel like it's been lost in translation. Facebook users as Custodes Shield host ain't that bad. People poo-poo the Orion, but the new Shield host munitions strat going to make it go burr. Or Larish.
People do poo-poo the Orion, but for 690, I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's too bad. I don't know. That Ares will take out some stuff, but it might be too expensive. Might be. Yo, that Custodes box, we're gonna talk about that. That Custodes box, like straight money wise, I was shook when those battle forces were only 210. I was like, these battle forces are literally have a lower price point per unit than all of the battle forces at Christmas.
Holy shit.
It's like, oh, you know what? We didn't talk about price increases. Let's talk about that.
So Wyatt in San Diego, you had XBZ crew members, Matt OTPHGZ. You guys convoyed all the way down, unloaded the shit. You're in your apartment right now. We saw a tour earlier on tactics, and tomorrow you're going to Thursday night fight night with the XBZ crew, and then immediately after that you're driving to fucking Los Angeles for a GT.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. The timing kind of snuck up on me. I thought the LA Classic was next weekend, but it's this weekend. So,
Womp womp.
Bro, I'm gangsters out. He's like, I'm here.
Got
Play,
shit to do.
I'm in the heartland of the HQ of XBZ. We're going to Thursday night fights, and then immediately the next day we're down in fucking LA playing fucking GT. Gangster.
shit is moving fast.
That's why you moved there, dude. And it's like literally like that, dude. I remember.
Dude, like,
Yeah, I mean, that's like why you went there. Like, I mean, on the weather, but also mainly so your hobby is more accessible to you.
yeah.
Oh, we
so
can't
I'm still
reply to
like-
Facebook's.
Now, the Facebook user, like Facebook is a bitch when it comes to the restream software. And
What do you put?
I think it's because okay, so that's Spiky Bits Hobbies. That's a closed group, right?
Wait. Oh, we streamed to Spiky Bits Hobbies
So
too?
so a closed group does that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know how the internet works anymore. I really don't.
So according to this math, we have 3 people on Spiky Bits Hobbies right now talking to us, and those are the user people. There's 7 people on Next Level Painting, which is not a group. It's just a page. So if they talk, we'll see their names.
I'm gonna go grab my Orion because I haven't looked at it in a while. The other thing about the Orion too, you can put a Dreadnought in there, which ain't too shabby.
That's cool.
Did you get all those detachments and shit? I mean, I know we haven't seen like everything,
Rob, I
but
haven't been doing
Bro, we haven't done anything, dude.
the amount of shit that I have to get done because of this apartment fuck up is, dude, I'm like I still have so much to do. Like it's serious.
Were you relying on us to disseminate the Custodes leaks? We don't know anything, dude.
I
I'm sorry.
I don't care.
wow.
You're
That's what we do
you're
here.
literally our Custodes expert, Rob.
Honestly,
I will.
it's
All right,
like-
fine. I'll just read them live. Fuck it. Let's do it live.
You are
I don't care.
literally you have played more games at 10th edition than me and Wyatt combined, and
That is probably
Custodes
true.
is your shit. You are literally
Also true.
you are our fucking expert, our material expert.
Yeah, but
I'd almost rather wait for like when the book is actually going to be legal to play to talk about it. And,
Fuck
like,
no,
do a
this
deep
is
dive.
this is leaks, dog. This is where we get the money. This is where we get the leak money, dude.
You don't get any money.
I mean that's not
Who's paying you
accurate.
for these?
That's
Who's paying you?
that's not accurate, but
GW doesn't even pay people for shit. They just give them shit early, and then it's like a soft like, hey, don't say anything bad about this product, or else we won't send you more.
so like the Facebook user, that's why I guess Rob was asking, because Facebook user says, cheers to all. So Custodes, I just broke out the LRs Custodes to hobby on. So tell me, what can I do with this upcoming codex based on the leaks?
I don't. I like Alaris. You could take previously. You could take them in squads of 2. You could teleport them. If you didn't go first, you could teleport them all up in their shit, like turn 1.
What's
which
our
is nice.
discount? What's our discount code for
I'm
Baron
getting
Dice?
it. I don't know it.
Isn't it Long War 6?
I don't know. I have to look these things up.
Oh,
It's
so
in
Kenny,
our.
I was able to find a guy. He's coming out Friday morning. Detail the car.
Hell yeah, dude.
Only 120 bucks, dude.
It's
What a
cheap as
steal.
fuck.
What a fucking. He's gonna shampoo the interior, everything.
Oh hell yeah, I just did that. It took me an hour, dude.
He said it's gonna take him like an hour, 2 hours to do the
The whole
entire
thing.
car.
God, what a beast. When does the Chaos Space Marine Codex come out, Garrett?
Who knows?
Well, they gotta come out with the main release for Tau first.
I'm excited for that as well.
What's the final thing I need?
I'm just gonna go look at one of our videos.
Stretch. Oh, yeah.
Is I'm not seeing it, or I don't know what it is. Is this it? This doesn't seem like this is it. No. What is it? I don't know why I can't get this discount code.
Yeah, Quentin, his
Right.
opinion is that whoever wrote it doesn't get it or was written 18 months ago. Probably 18 months ago. I think Rob explained to us that all these codexes are already written. So they have no they don't reflect
Well,
at
yeah,
all but the balances.
the balanced data sheet. Well, I mean, they could still put out an FAQ ahead of time, though. Because it doesn't, from what I was reading, it doesn't seem to make much sense with the balanced data slate.
Facebook user just post like a whole list in there, bro. It's not readable. I'm sorry. You can't post lists on Facebook. They're nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, I gotta get this guy turned ready. He's almost
Who?
there. This guy
The
right
Lord
here.
of Skulls, baby.
I mean,
Oh,
most of the works are done. It's just like trim shit. Because I only stripped the top half. The bottom half stayed the same.
Yeah. Because you had them yellow, like that yellow before. So
Yeah.
switching them to red. So we fucking sick. Christopher on YouTube wanted to know. Appeal for your talent. Ask every single would you rather to the guys throw out to any new hires. Some people leak custodies. I leak the Cave of Wonders. Stay awesome.
Yeah, dude. Cave of Wonders do be leaky, dude.
The Cave of Wonders is in fact dig.
Still like Taco Bell in there. It
Walter
costs
Garvey, what's the
leakage.
take on custodies? And is it GW appeasing Henry Cavill?
yeah, he was a little dodgy in the interview about
Ooh.
what he actually had painted and such, which is understandable. He's a busy guy.
He's got one custodies painted.
He did show one custody painted, mostly.
It's just like every other hobo. He's got a box of nonsense that he hasn't opened in years.
I don't know. I think he's the right. I think he's probably the right ambassador for this. But is it sustainable? Why can trying to reset the password so I can figure out this discount code, but I'm not having much success.
Just listen to the commercial. It's in the commercial.
All right, I'll fast forward to it.
Yeah, just go to his Instagram. So they were asking him like, how many 40K armies did you paint? Some shit like that. He doesn't play 10th. I mean, who's he gonna play with? Yeah, I mean, the motherfucker doesn't play the game. He's just loves it, like most nerds do. Probably played a couple games when he was a kid.
It's Long War 5.
Long War 5.
Long War 5. The number 5. But it doesn't link right. I don't think this is right.
Did it reset the new year or something? We never caught it.
I don't know. Something I can't. I mean, I'm sure that the code, well, I'm sure the code works. I already have an account. Yeah, figured that much. This app just takes forever to re-verify. It's being a business.
Oh, the cat's adjusting to the new Beats Lab.
As I anticipated, Blackjack immediately was like, "What's all this new cool shit?" And followed closely by Leo, and Orangia has yet to leave his self-imposed exile.
Under your bed.
Yeah, he came
That's
out
gonna
last
take a
night.
while.
I have a sneaking suspicion that he has since found a new hidey hole. I don't know where it is.
Karen Quinn says I missed Wyatt's apartment shit because you took me by surprise. Brief recap.
Oh,
But
so the apartment they assigned to me was not the same. It was the same floor plan, but it was not the same one that my friend had previewed when he came down here to like scope it out for me. And so we got here on Saturday, and the sidewalk to get to the door of the apartment was just jacked up in general, and then there was a really steep ramp. Like, it was not built to code, it was way too steep, it was dangerous. And so we had to change apartment units, but the way that this place does business is they're like, well, we have to have our team that draws up the lease agreements make a new lease, and they don't come back to the office until
Because you can't even
Tuesday.
open the door without them. Right?
That's
Like,
not true.
I thought you said they had like a, it was like a,
I don't mean, I don't want to go like way out to the weeds in it because the problem has been rectified, but basically I just had to have like the essentials in that apartment, and I couldn't really like come and go as I please. I had to have help. Like somebody had to drive over and like help me up and down the ramp just because it was too dangerous. Until yesterday when they switched me to this unit, which is perfect. Um, and so I got moved in and everything yesterday for the real move in. But because of that, like I had already, like they gave me the address to my apartment like um last month. So I had already done like my change of address and changed over my insurance and gotten like utilities set up and like all this other stuff, right? And so because of that, I have to change all that. And a lot of this stuff is like the automated systems don't like it that you're changing your address like within a 3-day period. And it kicks back errors, and I have to like sit through hours of being on hold and like try to talk to people, and like the post office is completely fucked. Like it's a whole thing.
they're just basically just flat out told you your mail forwarding is fucked.
Yeah.
Like 6 months of mail being forwarded to the old apartment, the other apartment that you're not in.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so stupid. I asked that because she was like, because it doesn't match, I can't hit the yes button on this computer. And I was like, well, I mean, if I had known that I needed like a lease
right.
to like bring, I would have showed you. So like I pulled up the lease agreement I had on the apartment app, but it's the one for this apartment. And I was like, well, I like that other lease no longer
Yeah.
exists. It's like it was never there. Like I can't access it. It's not a thing. Um, she's like, well, I can't let this go through. And I was like, are you serious? You
Have
can't
you not
just
confirmed my identity? Has this not?
yeah, because it's like because what it told me trying to do it online was like you have to go into a post office with this barcode to do like an identity verification. So I was like, oh, they just need to see my ID. Cool. So I went to the post office today and I was like, hey, here's the barcode. Here's my driver's license. Here's my like AAA card. Here's my military ID. Um, and she was like, well, this doesn't match. And I was like, well, yeah, I just moved from Texas. So my driver's license isn't going to match. And she was like, no, like the apartment, um, like this whole thing, like she was not a native English speaker, so that didn't help. Besides that point, she was like, because the lease agreement wasn't the old address, like wasn't the original apartment that I was trying to switch over from, she wouldn't like approve the fucking thing in the computer. And I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It's like I have three forms of government issued ID. I have the lease agreement for this apartment with my name on it, but because you apparently need to see the lease agreement with the apartment that I technically never lived in, you can't approve this. And it was
It's like, yeah, I acknowledge that the automated version of this said it looked suspicious. They want to make sure it was really me. You said come in to verify my ID. Have you, the human in this process, not verified me? As Wyatt Turk, I exist. You can see this. Press the fucking button. You know what I mean? It's like, God damn it.
yeah,
USPS.
it was so dumb.
USPS at its finest.
I was like, you
I
can't
don't know.
just
They're hit or
hit
miss.
yes. Like it's
They are hit or miss.
They are definitely hit or miss.
I currently have a big miss of a letter carrier right now.
I mean, like it's easy to be like, oh, California, but honestly, it's like you could go anywhere in America, and nine times out of ten, you'll have very intelligent people that either refuse or their mental processes don't work. Where it's like, this is my lane, this is my job. I understand all the systems and how all they work therein. But the second that you throw a monkey wrench into that, you try to do something outside of the norm, they
No,
scramble.
it's like what Anthony just said. He's like, yeah, I get it. People are concerned for their jobs, but come on. No, it's exactly it. It's like nobody is willing to take any amount of risk whatsoever to do the right thing at any time. In basically every job, in basically this whole country. And that's, I always say that you remember like the American dream, right? That anyone can make it, anyone gets like, bro, the American dream in 2024 is do as little as you can today and still get paid. That's literally that's our motto. That's the American motto.
Yeah, especially because it's also like it's also, I guess technically it's a federal position.
Yeah.
So like I can understand that if they were like, ah, fuck it, and like change it, there is a risk that that might be illegal, to be honest.
Yeah, no,
Why even
like
asking her to do something illegal?
right. To do the right thing that she could easily explain to anybody who would ask. Like she could easily take 10% of the risk to advocate for you, right? But two things are happening. She only cares about her income, which I can totally get behind, and she's going to do the least amount of work today and still get paid. Like when those
Yeah.
two things collide,
There's no incentive for her to do more, for
where,
sure.
whereas at least like the office, like your office guy, you know, wasn't willing to take the risk is bending over backwards to help you.
Yeah,
Like so that's like so he, like he
that's the
only
other thing too. Is like they didn't have to do anything for me.
no
These apartment people, but they were like, oopsie poopsie, like I fucked up, and this was a big miscommunication because the leasing agent was like, she thought that what my friend meant was that the floor plan was perfect, because when he showed up, they did not have an open apartment to show him. That was the one they were going to assign to me, right? Because the way it works is like you apply for a specific unit, not apply in general to be like to the business, right? And so when he went and viewed a different apartment with the exact same floor plan that had a flush ramp from or flush sidewalk from the parking lot and a flush entryway, and reported that yes, everything is cool. They thought that like yes, everything is cool. Him not knowing that the one they had assigned to me was this like corner unit on a crazy jacked up ramp thing that wasn't going to work. So they could have just been like, "Oh, it really sucks. We don't have anything for you. You know, you'll have to reapply and like go get a hotel room or something." Like, no, like they were like, you can be in here for a couple of days until we figure this out, and then we'll get you into this other unit.
That's definitely
It's
what
just,
your old place would have done.
yeah,
Yeah.
fucking Dorian. That bitch.
Fucking no. These people. So these people at least channel the human part, like this.
Yeah, it's just that neither of those people had the authority to, say yes to
Or in
that
a position of
thing.
life where they're willing to risk any amount of their job security to take any risk.
Yeah.
Which I say that's the part I can get behind. I can get behind the not willing to take risk for someone else, like to my personal risk. But I don't get behind the do as little as you can today and still get paid mentality. Like so you can do more while not taking risk to accommodate this customer. Like that lady could have walked you to someone who could fix it. That lady could have been like, hold all my appointments until I figure this out. There's a million things she could have done to be sympathetic and empathetic towards your position and excel at her job. But at the end of the day, too, like she's probably some underpaid schlub who doesn't fucking give a shit about her job. So
I don't know. I imagine the postal folks are getting paid pretty good. I had a huge conversation about this week with a lot of different folks in different positions of management, and it's just like we all suspect, like everybody during the pandemic had a hustle. I think me and Kenny even talked about this week. um Everybody during the pandemic had a hustle, and the folks that did hustle learned that they can sustain themselves through a number of
they learn like,
side
but
hustles, main
yeah, like
hustles.
it's a bunch of things, right? They said you can't go places. Some people got
Yep.
some unemployment. Some people got some furlough bill pay. Some people got
Some
some
people took
moratorium.
pictures of their feet, whatever, it
Some
don't
I mean,
matter.
some people worked from home, right? Like so, like a job that they had for years, now they had to work from home, and in that
Hmm.
situation, learn self discipline and able to do things they like. So, how many people out there had dreams of some hustle, but they didn't have the self discipline, the opportunity, the crossroad of time and family,
Hmm.
like whatever it is. Suddenly, millions of fucking people did. They had something.
Yep.
They had like a little bit of a safety net from either like unemployment or from a moratorium or from now they work at home and they can do 8 hours of work in 25 minutes because like that's how efficient they actually are when they're fucking applying themselves. Then they figured shit out. And then when it was time to go back to work and they were like, yeah, you want to come back to McDonald's for $10 an hour? And they were like, nah, I'm good. Like, nah,
Yep.
I figured it out, dude. We're good. Like,
And there's definitely a lot of that. So hey, I grabbed my Orion here. Check this out. It's not quite finished,
oh yeah,
but
dude. Good job.
it's got a nice solid base coat here. But the thing about the Orion is it has a spot in the back here, so you can put a little
I knew
magnet.
you were gonna fucking say magnet.
So you can have. So my idea was I was gonna have a little dreadnought ready to jump out the back here.
Okay,
That would be
that's
super
cool.
fun.
So you're gonna convert it.
Yeah, but wait, it gets better. Check this out. If you assemble it, you can. Or
Don't
where
break.
is
Don't
it? Where's
break
the
your
split?
Orion.
Oh no, it comes apart.
He's gonna break
Well,
it.
anyways,
He's gonna break it.
no, it's not glued. It's just tight. I have the interior painted.
Pull
Or
harder.
there it goes. So this bottom part, you can paint all this separately,
Hmm.
and paint all that. You can
So,
actually, I got LEDs all rigged up in here, so
so
it'll be
you're
lit.
gonna paint the interior of this thing and put a drone in
Yeah.
it? Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah, it's gonna be
As a
sick.
hobby
And then,
project, okay, it's not a rhino. We're not talking about leaving the hatch of a rhino open. Like,
check it out. I already, oh no, I didn't. Yeah, maybe I did. Oh yeah, I painted the base already. So Magnet Baron actually sells these sweet ass like ginormous
lift it higher. So
magnet,
lift it higher on the screen.
huh?
Lift it up. Yeah, there you go.
So sells these like magnetized
Rods,
little
raw fake
uh,
rocks. Yeah, like
yeah, fake rocks. And then
they're
this
like
is
magnet
actually
couplers. Yeah, I love it.
yeah, so you can it'll hold the weight. Well, I mean, obviously it'll hold the weight because the whole thing's not on it, but and then all you got to really do, I mean, I just basically primered it so it's ready to go. I mean,
I love it. I love that thing.
I got all the extra pieces ready to go. I wonder if I dated this. When did I think I did this during the pandemic. I got it this far. And then
I think you started it before then. I think you started like 2018.
probably. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. Magnet Baron's got um Magnus he's got oh, I dropped the bolter thing.
I like his little kits.
Oh shoot, that came out. Oh, I magnetized these too. Dang. So you can magnetize the little rotating. Oh, well, I gotta reglue it. But I put a little piece of metal in there. Oh, that's what I did. Yeah, so it's a little piece of metal and a magnet on the inside of the what is this? A cassis? I forget
Your
what this
shit
bolter is
broke.
called. Yeah, it's just the glue just dried out. Sometimes it does that if you don't use enough. That's fine. I'll fix it. But yeah, you can get super crazy with the interior. You don't have to glue it all in. But this thing's gonna be fun. I played with it a couple times. I mean, I feel like it's painted enough to actually put it on the field.
Henry Cavill would use. He would play that.
What's that?
Henry Cavill would play that.
I feel like Henry Cavill can do whatever he wants, bro.
Yeah, he'd approve of that page.
But yeah, I'm super stoked. I got the dreadnought I want to put jumping out the back. I'm gonna magnetize that all in there eventually.
Carrying Clover. I'll fix it later is the greatest hobby lie I've ever told myself.
Well, you get stuff to a point and then you either put it on the shelf and you forget about it, or something else comes along and unfortunately monopolizes your time.
Yep.
Work always seems to monopolize my time a bit.
So you've got some news for us. You want to go over the Custodes leaks with us for the meat and potatoes, Rob?
I mean, we can. I have not.
Tell us what to
That'll
think
be my
about.
first looking at it.
Yeah, we can at least go over your like detachments.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can definitely weigh in too.
We'll do our best.
I will do it live.
So we can start whenever you're ready. Did you already
Hold on,
print
let me
out your?
get.
You already print your stuff out?
Nah, I got nothing, man.
See, I knew that was fake. Fake papers. Pretends he reads from them.
Oh, I thought you meant about. No, I don't. I don't have anything for the rules.
Did you print out your news?
Yeah, I got some of that. Give me a second. Let me get all this stuff that leaked here. I say leaked, but we all know not really leaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wyatt's got to get used to his new time zone.
Oh man.
doing things at times of the day that he normally doesn't do things at.
Yeah, this was like I didn't get to take a nap today. Ugh.
I missed the old 2 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Zenu wants to know if I ever played with Starcom as a kid. The Space Force with magnet toys at late 80s. Yes. All the little crates and things that popped into the jets, little cars. Little dudes were like this tall. Yeah, they were dope. They were like the coolest thing ever, I think. That and Dino Riders.
No idea what these magnet force toys are.
Man, you missed all the good stuff.
Yeah,
You had real shit back in the day.
apparently. Apparently, bro. You know, it's on a side subject. So you know, like boomers will be like, uh, make fun of us generation for being too worried about our kids' safety and not letting our kids take risks and stuff. You know, like that, like line of discussion that sometimes boomers, uh, partake in. You guys are, you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
So I've been watching a bunch of ABC 2020 documentaries recently, like crime docs.
Oh, are you a
And
murderino now?
no, just through osmosis.
Uh-huh.
And I've come to a startling conclusion.
I'm listening.
Like, we are bitch asses. like,
Who's we?
like everyone, like basically people who weren't like in like grade school in the 70s, 60s, and early 70s, basically. Like, dude, I'm like watching all these documentaries about serial killers, right? And basically, they're always talking about what's going on in the environment around them. Like, what you got to understand what's going on in the country. Like, all these like dudes are talking, they always want to like slow roll you, bro. The amount, first off, it was a serial killer's like all you can murder buffet from like basically 1960 to 1979. Like, fucking
As long as you just redeployed, I
like
feel like a lot of people
a
that got
lack
caught.
of a lack of a real understanding of forensic evidence, a lack of ability to
Yeah.
communicate, a lack of surveillance equipment, like a lack of DNA in some decades in this discussion, right? So that's already terrifying enough, right? So I'm like, damn, there was a realistic ass chance that like motherfuckers getting guy, right? But then this guy just offhandedly talks about, and he's talking about the son of Sam and like this and that. He's like, you also got to realize, so we're talking about a different serial killer, right? He's like, you got to understand, like this guy fled is in New York now, and you got New York, you got to understand the temperature in New York. We got a son of Sam. It's like, oh, that's a different guy. I forgot about that guy. And there was 2,300 murders that year in New York. And I was like, holy shit, that seems a lot. And I Googled New York like in 2023, 360 murders. I was like, yeah, it's a fucking lie. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh man. So like, they're like, yeah, we like over 2,000 murders. We got the son of Sam over here, and this other serial killer, he goes to New York to hide out from the cops because the cops can't find him because there's no fucking technology. I was like, you know what? Maybe there is something to it. Maybe these motherfuckers like lived in that environment. Like, bro, and like maybe our argument of like, bro, it's just too dangerous out there holds no weight. Like, it's not as dangerous. So I'm gaining a little respect for these boomers after watching all these crime docs. I'm like, okay, maybe there is something to this. Kara Quinn says, now you just get shot by some random asshole. I mean, true. Did you guys hear? Inverness, where I live, 7,700 people. There was a fucking Walmart shootout 2 nights ago in our Walmart parking lot.
Why?
Who knows, Ron?
What were they shooting? What kind of?
So Kara Quinn, the oldest man on the internet, he is defending the millennial stance in my argument while I'm defending the boomer stance. He's like, no, dude, serial killers didn't just wipe out 20 people at a time. It's worse now. I was like, yeah, that's right. And you just reminded me of this fucking guy in the parking lot in Inverness fucking emptying a whole burner into this car as it drove off because they got into an argument in the parking lot. And then the sheriff says, "Don't worry, there is no threat to the community." That's like his statement. I'm like, I feel like this is a threat to the community, guys. You got like
Yeah.
rando dudes in Inverness just emptying an entire clip into a
Sheesh.
car like driving away in a parking lot, like because they disagreed on something. I saw the mugshot. He's like a normal looking redneck guy. And LT, it is Florida. You are accurate.
Mostly Florida. Can't confirm. Oh, that's lame. Okay. Uh, I don't know. If you wanna talk about technology and tracking people during the show, I have an interesting 40K analogy to present, but I don't want to spoil it right now.
Do whatever you want. I don't know if the guy died. When I last saw it, they said dude was in critical condition status, and they didn't reveal his status. The guy who was the victim of this crime. So that was shocking news. And my dad's response to it was even more shocking. He's like, "Oh, it's just a couple of bubbas getting into a fight in the parking lot. Nothing to worry about." I was like, "Dad, this is disturbing." Like, I was like, "Dad, you really just justifying this?"
It's
Yeah, I told you when I first moved here, there was a shooting too, right?
I just
By the airport, the one that I flew out of with Fly Monkey Paints. Some dudes in their pickup truck who were wasted drove by this guy's house who was having a barbecue. They like exchanged words as they were driving by, and then they came back around the block like an hour later and just opened fire for the bed of the pickup truck. Like this one guy, he missed every shot and fell out of the truck and cracked his skull and went to the hospital. Right, and and my dad's like, "Yeah, idiots." And he's like, "Don't worry, we have a really vicious judge. Like he's gonna throw the book at him." See, and bro, he was like, "So here's what he this is what they hit the dude with, right? This judge who's really tough on crime. The guy who, right, by my understanding of the law, did premeditated attempted manslaughter, right? Like went back, got a weapon, came back with intent, right?
sounds right.
They hit him with illegally discharging a firearm within city limits, illegally brandishing a firearm,
Okay.
and assault.
That's it.
That's it.
Uh,
I was like, oof, Florida. Oof.
I feel like that's not very rough.
7,700 people. My high school had 5,000. Like, this is a small, quaint little town, dude. In Florida, though. That's the problem.
Hmm.
LT, you can't premeditate manslaughter. It literally requires without malice. So, what is it? What would it be then? You know this stuff. What would you say
You know
this
the
guy did?
words.
What would you say this guy did, LT? Manslaughter is without malice.
Hmm.
Just attempted murder.
Murder.
Just
Muck
attempted.
duck. All right, I'm ready if you are. or not, whatever.
Whenever you're ready, dude.
She put this evil on me.
I'm just doing verbal diarrhea.
This is the Long War. I'm Rob Bear, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher and Wyatt Turk. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Yo, what's up?
It's been a wild week or so for all of us. I feel like Wyatt
Yeah.
was regaling us with the adventures of moving, which I think that ranks up there with the top 5 most stressful things in life ever.
Mm.
Yeah,
you're not
that's
wrong.
not even a joke. That's real, right? Like it's in the top 5 of
No,
most
that
stressful-
is, yeah, 100%.
Can you confirm that, Wyatt?
Yeah, I'm still existing in a constant state of stress.
It's just pure
Yes.
no outlet anxiety. Like
I have more gray hairs like since last week. Literally.
God damn.
I think yeah, I don't know how people used to do that shit like every 2 years. I don't know how I did it. It's just oof.
Fucking so also we are now broadcasting from our new old time Wednesdays. So podcast day is now Thursday for the work crowd who's listening to this on their way to work. So if you're listening to this on Friday, just know you could have listened to this shit yesterday. So
We're in the future now.
yeah, if you didn't realize, you didn't get your alert. So you Wyatt, you made it across the country, and I think everyone was been updated of the Austin Chronicles, and you had some support staff come in, some of your boys. Anybody you want to shout out on the podcast before we jump into content?
Yeah. So Keith Taylor from XPZ were the U-Haul crew.
You all
Man, dude, like they crushed it driving all the way from Austin to San Diego in the U-Haul. Matt OTPHGZ was riding shotgun with me most of the time.
And the Camaro crew,
Yeah, Camaro crew. With the cats helping
the
keep
cat crew,
cats.
the cat crew.
Yeah, it was the cat crew. We had a number of guys come by to help. So Steven, Alex, Joel, Joseph. I think that's everybody.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, so it was nice. Like being able to have everything moved in, like after waiting since Saturday to get stuff moved in. Like, it's finally nice.
so happy to hear that. So now you're in San Diego,
Yes,
And-
San Diego.
and you have your first Thursday night fight night with the XBZ crew at their HQ tomorrow. And then you told me on tactics immediately after, like you're waking up the
Oh,
next
yeah.
day.
Yeah, going to LA Classic, the big
Go-
GT.
So you're back down in LA the next, so you just got into your new apartment. You're settling, handling a million things, obviously, but you're not letting, the prize get clouded by any of this. You're like, I'm at Thursday for night fights, and I'm at a GT the next fucking day, and you got to paint a model.
Yeah, I thought the LA Classic was next weekend. It's this weekend, so I gotta finish the restoration of my last Lord of Skulls. Let's get it ready.
Well, congratulations on the move. Shout out to all the friends and team members who helped out. I'm glad you're able to immediately jump into your hobby, which is something you've been talking about for like over a year and a half now during your recovery. I'm looking forward to coming to visit you for Cali Cup. It's going to be fucking fantastic. Rob will never see you. I mean, that's not true. We're coming up on 7 years since his last flight.
Mm.
It's like
Yeah, I'm
six.
not flying.
I mean,
Oh, man.
he literally
Fuck you too,
flew.
Rob.
He literally flew to my apartment in LA, dude. He will fly. Like he will do it. You just have
Yeah,
to
I
give him
bought
time.
this like deluxe heat rock just for you.
You have to give him. Yeah,
Oh man,
bro.
thank you though.
I brought a jacket to the airport for him because I knew it'd be chilly. Like you just gotta
It's tough,
accommodate him.
man. I just can't get behind the flying.
He says this for 6, 7 years, like a locust or a cicada, and then suddenly he breaks out of his old shell, and then he's like a new little cicada, and he's willing to fly one more time.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I feel like Rob is feeling kind of vindicated with these planes falling apart.
That's his.
He's like, I told you.
That is possibly adjusting the timeline. Like, sometimes the environment and climate change and things that messes up the cicada rhythm, like, so we'll see. Like maybe he's more like a doctor in his regeneration cycle right now.
Could be possible.
Hey, we never pitched the concept that Rob might be a Time Lord.
I don't know. He's always looked like this though.
Has he though? Like, how long have you known him?
I mean, longer than any doctor has been the doctor. That dude
I mean,
dies all the time.
he's just chilling though. You know what I'm saying? He's just taking a vacation, and for a Time Lord, vacation can be 100 years, dude.
So
That sounds nice.
I'm a little worried. Anyway, we're
I
back.
need one.
We've got new leaks to cover tonight. Rob is our custodies expert, so this is going to be exciting to have him lead
The
us in a
hot take
discussion.
is custodies are dead.
Custodies-
and people want to boycott them.
They
Apparently.
suck dick. GW ruined them. They took.
remember last
That's
time
it.
when this happened and people said the same thing and the custodies were fucking broken.
Yeah.
Well,
You guys
I don't.
remember
We
that?
haven't seen everything yet, so I don't.
Well,
I mean, I see some
all
things that are different,
GW's
for
just
sure.
canceling factions left and right. Now,
I
GW. Oh my god.
vividly remember the podcast where like we were talking about the new custodies and we're like, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. And all the custodies, grognards, were like, fucking dead. They're terrible, awful. Put them on the shelf. And then like the next month at like Cherokee Open and the other big GTs, people were like, yo, custodies are a problem, dude.
So I just realized that I should have named the episode of the podcast GW cancels another faction. Goodbye, custodies.
I mean, me personally, just looking at this stuff, it doesn't seem to jive with the balanced data slate for sure, right? So you can tell this, if anything, this whole codex basically says to me that in-print material is redundant at this point because they already have stuff that's clearly past the point that this in-print material was made. So
yeah, like you see,
I'm not.
yeah, that's a really good way of saying it because we know they're gonna have to fix things, rebalance it because so print is dead. You're right. The print rules are dead.
Yeah, it's definitely not tight when people are like getting the codex and then like, well, I guess I'll wait because this is not even what the points are going to be, 2 weeks from now or however many weeks, because they're going to get changed because you're obviously old. And the whole thing of, well, I can get my book, but I can't actually play my book or use the app
code
to build
drops it.
lists until it comes out like
That's the real
an
concern.
indeterminate amount of time later.
GW's requirement of the audience to purchase the book to get the code to get what they really want is the bottleneck. Remove that bottleneck. Just do it. You already have the digital version. Sell us the digital code. Let us just have that.
I guess we could even talk about some of those spicy rumors from 4chan that.
Oh, you got the 4chan rumors? Oh man, this is gonna be a good one. All right. Let's jump into
we could just go down the list and be like,
let's do the would you rather. Let's get it out of the way because now I don't want to forget that you just said that. All right, so we got Wyatt back. No would you rather last week, so let's roll out to Wyatt's Cave of Wonders and touch nothing but the whale's vagina.
Okay.
I came up with that in the spot.
Would you rather always have a little bit of Cheeto dust on your fingers or always have a little bit of burger grease on your fingers?
Did you say cheat code dust or Cheetos?
Cheeto dust.
Like
Cheetos.
Chester Cheeto? Okay.
Yeah. It ain't easy being cheesy.
I thought you were gonna say, or when you eat Cheetos and they really get stuck in your teeth.
No, I want this to be a very
Like when you're masticating, they get all caught in your molars, and like I'm like always feel like I'm like tonguing it out for like hours after I eat the Cheetos.
You still have your molars?
Yeah, man. I'm only
Huh.
40, dude.
Okay.
Do you not?
I got
Oh,
some.
he's got.
I
He's
got
got.
some.
I got one.
Yeah, I got some stuff back there. Yeah.
Cheeto dust or burger grease. Like so, it's a sensation. I just like ate a burger by hand, like kind of feeling.
yeah, but it's that burger grease is actually on your fingers.
Gross. Both are gross.
Yeah. I felt like hurting others after this week.
Hmm.
So
Well, it turns out
it
one of
smells like
those-
it's physically burger grease. It's not magic burger grease. Like I can smell it.
What?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Two life ruining scenarios.
Oof. I guess Cheeto dust. Like I feel like I'm gonna get nauseous after a while with the burger grease. Like no, Cheeto dust is obnoxious. Undoubtedly, the tactile sensation of it will drive me insane after a while. Like I'm acknowledging my descent into madness. You know. Whereas like the burger grease, I feel like I can like ignore it easier until I have to do something with my, like that requires me not to get burger grease on it. You know.
Well,
Contacts?
that, yeah.
Not anymore.
Like yeah, like I feel like yeah, because like even with the like even if I needed to wear gloves for something, like the worst that's gonna happen is I get Cheeto dust inside my gloves. But
If you wear the gloves, it's magically on the outside of the gloves.
but what
You
if
can't
like
game this.
but like what if I had to perform life saving aid on somebody and like
Hope you got good insurance. Because you're getting a malpractice suit.
what if I had to render life? No, okay, I got it. Cheeto dust in your heart. What if I was a surgeon? You're not a surgeon now.
Find new employment.
Can I taste the Cheeto dust if I put it in my mouth?
Sure.
Do I get nutritional value from the Cheeto dust?
I don't think you get nutritional value from Cheeto dust now.
Is it the same
Yeah,
nutritional value
probably
that
not.
actual Cheeto dust has?
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess.
And the burger grease too, like it's greasy, like
Sure.
it's actually like a saturated fat.
It's rendered lard. Yeah. Why not?
Hmm. 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 Cheeto dust, 100%. Final answer.
So it turns out both of those things are gluten free.
Didn't plan it. Oh, I'm glad it worked out for you.
So he actually
I'm
has
glad
a-
you can also participate
He
in
can
this
al-
life ruining change.
And quite frequently, I do have Cheetos dust all over my person.
So he's
Because
so you're used to the Cheeto dust constantly on you.
Yeah, they got you. You guys don't even understand the Cheetos game now.
No, we
Like-
don't.
Like they got flavors.
Ooh.
They got some flavors. They got some jalapenos. They got all sorts of stuff. Like
So as a celiac guy, Cheetos are a part of your life.
I mean, if there ain't no Doritos around, I'm probably going for Cheetos, yeah, or some corn chips, probably like some Fritos.
So that's a top pick for you.
But I like me some grease too because I gotta get them. I gotta get my meats, and my meats can't have no breads, so there's always some grease involved. An illegal.
Rob's
amount of
like, can I
grease.
have both?
Yeah. Now I haven't done that yet.
Can my
but
left
now that
hand
you
be
say it,
greasy and my right hand be dusty?
Now that
The
you say
genie's
it.
like, you're a fucking wild man. Sure.
Well, what I normally do is I try to game the system. Like if I got to get a burger, I'm like, yo, can we add bacon to that? Because nobody does like lettuce wraps, right? So if you just get bacon, the bacon becomes the wrap, right? 'Cause you get these
Oh, you have heart
and then you
disease.
just-
I see now.
yeah. So then you're obviously gonna experience a grease situation. But see the bacon, like contains the burger. Because you try to grab a burger, it's just gonna like fall apart.
I mean,
Pro
I
tip.
just put it in a bun
Like and subscribe to me for more
for more
for more
celiac
gluten free
fucking.
hacks.
Facts.
Five Guys does do a lettuce wrap burger.
So
It
which
is
one? So what would
delicious.
you prefer as your life forever now?
I mean, I could do either.
He's like,
I don't
both.
I don't have a preference. I suppose the burger's more filling.
He's like, because he's thinking about licking his fingers. There's no burger in your hand, dude. It's just the grease.
Yeah, but bacon grease, it
There's
hits
no bacon.
different.
It's a burger. Is this a bacon burger, Genie?
I mean, you can
Does it
give to
rotate?
whatever.
Is it sometimes jalapeno Cheeto dust? Is it sometimes normal Cheeto dust?
I mean, if you choose Cheeto dust, it can be any Cheeto dust you want it to be.
Is it have,
Oh,
it has like
that's
a
what's
it has
up.
like a reset, like a cycle?
Sure.
Because now I'm interested in this jalapeno Cheeto.
Damn, the jalapeno Cheetos are really gonna.
Dude, man,
gotta be really
you gotta
careful with
try 'em.
those.
I
That's
know.
the
I
good
just
shit.
realized how much of a
You're gonna wipe
problem
your
this might
beetle
be.
the wrong way one time.
Bro,
and
both hands covered in jalapeno dust without me realizing it one day. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna go to the bathroom to take a piss, scratch my balls, go back to sleep, and be like, I fucked up real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah.
No, like,
Yikes.
dude, I haven't even. Don't worry. I mean, your beehole is gonna take some adjustment if you ever have to go gluten free. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Like,
Things
does it
don't
have
work
to
the
adjust bigger or smaller?
same. There's not as much strain on it. Let's just say there isn't a lot of solids anymore.
I mean, I already don't have a gasket. It's like a bird up in here, like a bird. Just
I can get really descriptive, but I don't feel like we need to.
spicy and
I don't-
dry.
I don't feel like that's where
All
we're
right, so Rob would do either because he's a wild man. Got it. Thank
or maybe
you.
both at the same time.
Both at the same time. Surprise me,
I'm gonna try
Genie. All right. Thank you, Wyatt. We got news. Rob printed out his little news spreadsheet, and he said he earlier in the pregame show, he talked about how we still have a few dice sets for sale.
No, they're gone.
They're
all
gone. Sorry, that's.
Oh, we do have the ones that are on. Yeah, I'll grab that.
So we do
do
have
have
dice for
the-
sale all the time,
The other one.
being drop shipped by yes. Okay, so there's still dice, guys. In case
This
you
is
didn't know.
our 2024 set, but it wasn't this. We're only doing these for this year, right?
Our exclusive Adepticon set is gone forever. You fucked up if you didn't buy them. But there are not exclusive, non-collectible versions that you can still buy. But that was taking me to the point of Rob had gotten a little excited earlier when he was talking about this new Custodes box and things like that. So I'm excited to see what Rob says. He was going off on value. You know, Rob famously says you have to spend money to save money.
Yeah, you got. I mean, everybody knows that. That's how it works.
So
In
let's do
this
it.
economy, shoot. All right, here it is. So here's the set you can buy now. The Sombrero dice for this year. Or I don't even know how many there are, but I don't think there's that many.
Anyone
So
listening to this
we didn't have that much
podcast,
money.
beartodice.com and a bunch of nonsense. There's probably a way to just search Long War when you're on their website and find it.
Yeah, that too.
The URL is unrecitable.
All right, so here's the thing. So obviously, Custodes and Orcs are both going on pre-order this weekend, of course, and there's some definitely some hot takes out there about the Custodes book already. Of course, in a vacuum, we don't have all the information, so people are going to offer their expert opinion, expert in air quotes. But what I can tell you, as an expert opinion, is that I was very surprised when the Battle Force pre-order numbers came in and they were $210 US, because that's $20 less than the Battle Forces were at Christmas time, which makes the average unit cost inside of these two Battle Forces, the Orc and the Custodes ones, lower than all of the Battle Forces at Christmas time. Actually, I think the price per unit inside is the lowest of any box set except for the two Horse Heresy ones that came out.
Prospero and fucking Betrayal Calth.
No, the Legion Astartes battle group and the Solar Auxiliary battle group, which we didn't even talk about the Solar Auxiliary battle group. I have a video that's going to be going out because we did a little sleuthing um about the whole Solar Auxiliary release, and it actually looks like Games Workshop might have airshipped that entire run of Solar Auxiliary battle groups, those big boxes, over from the UK, which, as you can imagine, cost quite a bit.
Like what,
Cost the
$300?
$639 a case of five for 5 boxes, from what I can tell.
That seems excessive.
It is very excessive. So
Damn.
we did a whole breakdown on it. The article's going out next week, as well as the video. I don't know why they did that, and I hope it was just a misnomer, and I hope they don't do shit like that more, on the regs, because that's a lot of money. Anyways, so Custodes, Battle Force is $210, which is really good, especially for the mix of units inside. The Stomper Boys Orc Battle Force, $210 as well. You obviously get a Stomper in there. Makes up quite a bit of value in the box. If you have a Stomper, you're probably not going to want it, but otherwise, probably going to want to pick it up because it's got a lot of key units
I
in there.
want a Stomper.
You want a Stompas. The easiest part about the Stompa is putting the frame together. You can get that together in about 20 minutes or so, but then it takes about another 3 hours to get everything else together. It's quite the kit, to be quite honest with you. Got the Orcs Codex coming out for $60, datasheet cards for $35, all the normal stuff, the Custodes Codex, the Custodes datasheet cards, Orcs dice, and Custodes dice, which actually don't look that bad. I think G-Dub's trying to step up their game because they're getting honed by Baron of Dice a bit. I still prefer their dice.
Pizzoned.
Yeah, Pizzone.
Gotta call Pizza Hut, order number 5, dude. The Pizzone.
And the Pizzone. So that is all the releases going on pre-order this week. We've been seeing a lot of previews for the 4th edition Age of Sigmar. They put out a data or a battle scroll today in their rules preview, and I don't know if they noticed this, but at the top of the document it said July 2024. So I feel like that's when the box set's coming out. I don't know who's proofing their stuff over there, but there we go. So we kind of all knew it was going to be summer, regardless, I suppose, pretty much there. Also, Shatterpoint releases. AMG put up for pre-order the Iden Versa box set, as well as the Han and Chewie Endor box. And some new layouts are coming out as well for the game. When I was at Adepticon, I picked up a new mat from Mats by Mars for Shatterpoint, and it had it was really great. It's a great Endor map, or wooded forest. You don't have to use it for Endor, of course, but it had all the markings on it for the last the Showdown expansion that came out. I don't think I'm going to keep buying them. I think if there are new spots with this new one, I'm just going to kind of measure them out and pencil them in on the mat, because you don't need to just keep buying these mats every time that a new layout comes out. And I would definitely recommend that for Warhammer 40K as well. Now, Mats by Mars has not only Shatterpoint, MCP, they also have the mats for 40K with the deployment zone and the objectives marked on them. Now, these are vinyl, so they're a bit cheaper than your neoprene, and they used to be, 6, 7, 8 years ago, they used to be not that good of quality, and they scratched up a lot. But since then, they've really upped their game. Their vinyl is legit. They have some new offerings, some new features coming out that I can't really talk about right now, but in the near future, there will be some new features for their mats as well. But I think as far as value goes, if you don't want to spend the money on the neoprene mats, I think these ones are the way to go, and you can pretty much get these layouts on like any of their mats, any size, anywhere. It's really good stuff, so definitely check them out if you're in the market for a mat before you jump over to the neoprene. Some people just want the neoprene, and I get it. They're cool. Which brings me to my next point. And I can't believe I'm ever going to say this. Somebody please stop me. I don't get why GW's lowering their prices. I mean, I get it. Obviously, it's
This is
rough out there.
obviously a bit.
No, no,
You mean
it's
there's
not
a
a
bunch of
bit.
value in a box that makes it lower.
Well, here's the thing, and I've got I want to make 2 points here. I don't understand. I don't get. I just don't understand why these 2 boxes here are $210. And I'm not saying I don't like it. I like it. But last week, the Nightmare box for Kill Team was 140 that's like the highest they've ever been, which I get it. There's a big piece of terrain that they probably brought in from China. There's printed material that they also probably brought in from China. They had to combine it all and then put it in a box and get it over. And they were super allocated and they sold out in no time, right? So everybody that wanted the Mandrakes and the Night Lords, they're gonna have to wait till they come out separately. And the Chaos Night Lords box probably gonna be $75. And the Mandrakes, they might sell them at fives, they might sell them at tens. Either way, they're still going to be a lot. So it was a super value if you get a hold of it, but nobody could. And I guess that's why they just like arbitrarily up the price. But with this stuff that they were making in house, they lowered the price. But here's the bonus for all of us. They actually didn't do a price increase this year. Normally they announce them in February. They didn't, and they go into effect in March. They've been doing that since 2020. Previously, they were always in the summer. So not only do we not get a price increase this year, as of yet, it could still happen, but we also got like key releases that are actually $20 cheaper than what they normally are.
Huh. So that is okay. You've never said that before. You've never, in any combination of the words that you just said, I've never heard this. This is new.
I,
We've entered new territory.
I, I too am confused by all this. And furthermore, they're actually giving stuff away. I mean, we saw in the past when things were slow, they did vouchers like, hey, you spend this much, you get a voucher, so you're basically getting a percentage off. Right now they have those like 2 models up on their store for Age of Sigmar that you can get if you spend a certain amount of money for free. The other one you can just buy. So it's almost like they're trying to come up with ways to engage folks to get them to buy stuff, but also hold the line on pricing. And I just think that's indicative of kind of where we're at, the economy and stuff. Like the whole White House report on like jobs came out and they're like, hey, we got more, we created more jobs. When we started kind of digging into the numbers, I mean, I'm not seeing any numbers that indicate the economy is doing better personally. So I got to feel like that's trickling down into our hobby world too. And maybe GW is just like, well, we're doing what we can and we're just gonna be here for now. So I mean, it's a good place to be. Now's a great time to stock up and work on those armies. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I don't know what's going on. It's good. It's good. Somebody in chat saying you're not an economist. I agree, but I am an analyst, and I can see trends, and I do see quite a few trends, and I know because I have privy to a lot of sales data from a lot of companies in this industry. I can see where people are at. I know where I'm at on sales, and almost universally, everybody's down or running a sale right now.
No, Rob.
I also go out into
That's
town.
ours. You're not allowed to talk about anything in life if you don't have the credentials to talk about it by the standards of some type of certification. You're not allowed to have an opinion, express that opinion,
Right.
analyze things, look at things, or discuss them unless you have the proper certification. So
But I feel like even if
we
I
probably
did have the
actually need to shut the
certification,
podcast down, actually, because now I realize we're in utter violation of this edict.
well, we'll see. I feel like regardless, even if you have the proper certifications, you're gonna get, you know, people are gonna troll you and say, "Oh, your opinion's not valid." Speaking of opinions not valid, what do you say we talk about some Custodes rules here in a minute?
Rules. Okay, so no, hold on, back me up. Back
What?
up. So we talked about the value of that box. So this Custodes
Yes.
box, you told me,
Yes.
you said something earlier, like there's like, you said it was the best breakdown. Give me the breakdown of the Custodes box real quick. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'll go look it up. I did not commit it to memory.
I'd like to know because the Spiky Bits price breakdowns are the most accurate and timely of all, despite your lack of credentials to make such predictions and comments.
Just try hard.
You are a tryhard.
Let's see.
Because it's like, isn't it like someone in chat, I think earlier said it's like 700 points in units?
I don't really do the math on the
I know, but that's
the-
why I got curious. Somebody said it was like 700 points.
points in units. And here's why, because it's not really evergreen.
No, for sure.
because
But
that
at
shit
this moment
changes.
right now, it's a good value, period,
Right.
money wise. But also, if it is like 700 points in units, on top of at this moment, it's kind of a steal, right?
I mean, 700 points, yeah. I mean, money wise, because normally they want you to spend about $800 to $1,000 on an army here. So just real quick comparisons. The Custodes 2022 Battle Force was $230, came with 22 minis, had $115 of value inside of it. The Custodes 2024 Battle Force is $210, so it's $20 cheaper. It only has 18 models in it, so 4 models less, and it has a value of $130 inside of it. So it's got, roughly $15 more value for $20 less. But let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 divided by 210 is a price of $35 average price per unit inside. Which is, I mean, these boxes are $60 normally. The Praetors are $60. The Terminators are $60. The Wardens are $60. The Shield Captain's probably going to be, I mean, Trajan's 45. I don't know how much the Blade Champion is. I could look that up, but he's
Oh, I see.
probably at least 40.
Oh, thanks for that. I mean, I wanted to hear some of that. So, okay, we're going to go talk about, because we're going to talk about this Custodes leak in a second. Rob is a Custodes player, but what about our 4chan rumor that you teased us with earlier?
Oh, geez. What a, all right, sure. Let's get wild.
Dog, that's
Some of this shit's absurd.
Bro, have you not listened to a podcast? That's what podcasts are for.
I mean, I feel like this is a different level of absurdity. This is just like wish listing because somebody's bored. They're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna make up some shit.
Oh, I live for this
Now, there is some interesting stuff in here that does sort of check out. So let me find it. All right, so here is, let me blow this up so I can see it with my old people eyes. All right. The first big one is, I can't believe I'm even saying this out loud.
Fuck yeah. I know we're in the right territory now.
All resin is being phased out by 2025 to comply with government rulings on non-recyclable plastic to avoid bigger tax charges.
Because of California.
No, this is in UK.
Oh.
Apparently. Now, I mean, GW does have those recyclable bins at their stores only in the UK. Their plastic, it's harder to recycle. You're gonna have to take it to your main recycle center. You can't throw it in your bin.
This is a rumor about like they're a country, not about but is it on like 40K 4chan?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's on 40K. Okay, so it is hobby motivated as a rumor. Okay.
Sure.
And so all resin will be phased out by a certain date because of EPA regulations or whatever in their country. Like, so they're saying they're not gonna have it anymore. So to Wyatt, if that is true, your gut, like snap. Do you think it affects anything in the hobby?
No. I mean, no.
If
I
it
just want to
happened.
preface this. I've also read these. I saw these a couple days ago.
So if they phased out
Uh,
resin by that date, would this affect your hobby at all?
no.
Well,
I mean, I don't think I don't think that's
No, we're
true
going on the what if
in
it is true.
general. No, it doesn't change anything.
It doesn't affect my hobby. I don't understand. Like I haven't bought a resin model from Games Workshop in like
Bro, like, as much as I love Warhammer, it is my bottom bitch, right? But if it went away tomorrow, there's like 4 other games I could go play and be just as happy. It's
right.
like,
So, but the thing is, it wouldn't even like
if
what is GW? I mean, like they're the
what if Forge
injection.
World went away? Like,
Who cares?
dope.
Yeah, like that's a good thing. And like GW is the most innovative plastic injection molding miniature manufacturer on the planet. Plastic injection molding, not resin. Like
I would actually say that AMG is tight on their heels, dude. They're
t-
like some of the new stuff they're putting out for MCP and for Shatterpoint is pretty tight.
or that. I mean, so no, like they're so I don't. It wouldn't even if it was true. I don't see how this would affect our hobby focusing on Games Workshop. So like I can see this being on a 4chan for like some other fucking industry that this might actually affect. But come on, bro. So is this really all the little fucking 3D printers getting butt hurt? All the little people who are like 3D printing their 40K armies? Is this really what they're mad about? Like if this
so
because they wouldn't be able to 3D print?
I mean, this is one person making a post on 4chan, obviously.
I know.
So, you know,
But it's got to be
whatever.
it's picking up traction. People are like talking about it, right?
Well, people are talking about it because this is just one of
This
a
stuff is I feel like
series.
people are talking about it because it's like so
Oh,
dude, this is like Vermin Supreme levels of preposterous. I don't know if Kenny gets that reference, but oh, you don't know about okay, you need to Google this. Vermin Supreme is like this homeless man who wears a boot on his head, and he always runs for like Congress in the state that he lives in, and his name is Vermin Supreme.
I know that guy. He's at the Wildwood truck stop.
That's where he's
he
taking the
got
presidency these days.
he got shot at Walmart the other day.
Okay, you got another 4chan rumor for us?
Oh no, we're not done with this one.
Oh, there's like a page of it, Kenny.
Oh yeah, it's wild. But let's just talk about this. So if this was true, it's and I'm not saying it's not because who the fuck knows, but it's just one of many ridiculous ones. So resin, it would affect so many things. Obviously, 3D printing. It would destroy Forge World. It would
Forge World doesn't
destroy
exist. It's
it
an
would
illusion.
yes. It would destroy 3D rapid prototyping for every industry that uses it in the UK. Notwithstanding the fact the other major gaming manufacturers are in the UK. So now you're talking um
Literally everyone else
Warlord.
that's not GW who relies on resin.
Yeah, exactly. So it would have a huge trickle down effect of everything. Now, resin is not a plastic. It's not. So somebody needs to check their terminology. Now, I'm about to blow your mind with something. The UK actually did pass a law. And well, starting in 2018, what is this thing? Let me find it again. The House of Commons, December 2019. Anyways, they passed a law for plastic in packaging, and that hey, you got to do this, or excuse me, let me start over. They put out a strategy that hey, you got to do this. We need to reduce plastic in packaging. In April of 2022, it actually went into law, I believe, to where companies would get taxed based on the amount of when packaging is considered plastic. Plastic polymers include biodegradable, combustible, and oxydegradable, none of which what resin is. They would get taxed based on if they had a certain percentage of plastic in the material. And I think everybody can relate to this one. You probably remember a lot of the box sets stopped coming with shrink wrap from Games Workshop. They came with little stickers sealing them on the ends right about the same time. So
Oh,
there
you mean
was a
with like
lot.
the cardboard sleeves?
What's that?
With like cardboard sleeves?
Yeah, with the cardboard sleeves and the little stickers on the side. Like everything from GW universally comes like that now, and it all started about 2 years ago.
Yeah, but
Um,
all of their normal retail product is still shrink wrapped. So how does that
no,
offset any cost?
So like,
no,
I mean, like
it's
all
it's actually
the
not.
ones that are already here, warehouse is already here,
I
shrink
mean,
wrapped.
I just unlocked stuff like the new Space Marine kits, like the company heroes and um the jump train
Oh
guys are
yeah,
shrink
the
wrapped.
some of the little stuff, yes,
That's what I'm
but
talking about. So
Because it's
like,
not big enough
how does
to.
that
It's not
mitigate
big enough to.
cost when you manufacture like 20 times more of those products than the box sets?
I don't
It's
know,
based
man.
on some unknowable metric.
The the bean counters figure all that shit out. I don't know, but all of the larger stuff from the combat patrols to the battle force type stuff to the battle groups all come with those stickers sealing them now. Um, so there's something to that. All right, well let's jump back to these wild ones here. I'll put the if nobody first of all, don't go to 4chan because
It's a
it's
silly
gross.
place.
It's just it's the literal worst. But if you do want to read these rumors, I'll put the link in chat here.
You
Don't click
you
it
haven't been
though.
called a slur since the 90s. You feel like getting some of that nostalgia, just go to 4chan.
Um, advertisers literally will not advertise on 4chan. Like it's the anathema to Google. All right, let's take a look here. So I can see where there's some sort of truth in there, but I don't know if it pertains to resin. All right, second one, Beast of Chaos will be moved to balance out the old world and have a variety to avoid another Horus Heresy where players still scream for Eldar or whatever. To this day, they were planning for an AOS revamp at the start of third, including Kragnos being the centerpiece, which was obviously scrapped, whatever. Spoiler alert, Beast of Chaos were always in old world. They were announced like 8 months ago that they were in old world. So they were in old world. You're dumb and you didn't read this. And you didn't read that because you're making shit up, probably. Kislev supposedly was scrapped because of Russian invasion of Ukraine. That was 2022. They were already in GW's Book of Grudges for the recent fiefdoms, but the timing just felt to be like in poor taste.
No,
They
no,
aren't
no,
getting
no.
scrapped.
You missed an important word. This dude is saying that because GW was already mad at the government of Russia, the country of Russia, because of
Uh-huh.
recasters existing in Russia, and then Russia's
Uh-huh.
invasion of Ukraine, they were like, we're not going to make this faction that we had planned anymore. That's what they're
Uh
claiming.
well, first of all, the majority of recasters aren't in Russia.
In China.
They're in China. And the stuff you get out of Russia smells like gasoline. And you probably should not expose any part of yourself to it. I'm sure there's some talented folks there, but they just don't put the money into the things they should because there's plenty of folks that actually cast the stuff there.
The EPA in Russia plays it fast and loose.
I think they do. I think they do. But there's plenty of stuff that used to come out of there for different companies that was really good quality.
So
But not that
GW is
stuff.
mad at Russia, and then that's why they canceled the factions.
Yeah, but which again doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense because Kislev was already in Warhammer Total War, and they have all sorts of these previews, and they're just like, "Hey, this stuff in Arabe probably isn't coming out for a while." But that's what they said about Warhammer Old World to begin with. They've slowed everything down, so I think it's just like
So they're
whatever.
just really sticking it to the Russian government by discontinuing the obviously Russian-looking people in a
Yeah,
game that is
Yeah.
yes,
so
that's what
obscure
they
The
that
did.
no one in Russia
historically
probably even knows it exists.
yeah, the historically political company Games Workshop
Historically
is
political
taking a
company.
stance against the
The Russian
this is
threat.
LT
so
LT
fucking
in
stupid.
chat said if GW is mad at Russia because of recasters, just wait till they hear about China. Yes, 100%. And now he's reading ahead of me. Stop it. So and the next one is the old world is underperforming against projections, but not massively. Mostly attributed to lack of a big villain draw when Tomb Kings don't seem to be considered a villain in the grand scheme. Um, this whole thing is basically like
I
it's
couldn't.
underperforming, but Tomb Kings are outselling Bretonians, but they're underselling. Like I don't know, just like pick one. Like this doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah,
out
it
of
couldn't
four of
possibly
these,
be because like most modern war gamers aren't that excited about rank and flank old crusty fantasy stuff.
I
Not at
agree.
all.
So out of the first four of these, one may be slightly true-ish, but only if you put on tinfoil hat and listen to Alex Jones. Second group of
I don't
rumors,
always wear a tinfoil hat, Rob, but when I do, you best believe I'm listening to Alex Jones.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
I'm lighting some candles, I'm getting really comfortable, and I'm listening to Alex Jones. He's got some ideas about frogs. Warhammer Underworlds is ending production this year. There is one final box planned after Winter Maw, along with limited time reprint boxes, blah, 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 blah. Intended to be a gateway game and competitive and casual tournament product. Didn't succeed at either, and cost and boarding cards make them less profitable than the Warcry terrain, so being dropped.
That
This,
actually sounds like something I would say.
I
I
mean,
believe that
That's the
is gonna
most
happen.
reasonable one.
Yeah.
it does not sound unreasonable. It sounds probable. I have not seen anybody play Warhammer Underworld
Because that's the only one that has like a realistic like if you go back one step to like they're canceling this, they're canceling that. Well, like the simplest explanation is usually accurate. Like the numbers say it's not worth them keeping it. Like somewhere in their spreadsheet, it says how much it costs to make these, how much people buy them, equal sign, not enough fucking money, get rid of it. Right?
Yeah.
That's 90% of the business motivation. Spoiler, 4chan. So this one actually says along those lines, like it's not worth the money to produce.
Which I get, because remember, it's still up in the air whether all of those sprues were actually made in China or not. I can tell you most of that terrain.
And
for
those are
Warcry
some of the
is
factors that
definitely-
go into is it still worth making? Like do we
right.
so
But when you start having to source all the paper and everything, it starts
Yeah.
to become problematic. Or cards and things. Legion Imperialis has massively underperformed. Some of the blame is to be placed on people expecting epic again and not wanting pure Horus Heresy on a smaller scale. Others blame the launch
first one.
window.
It's not epic. We wanted epic.
I expect support for another year or two, but
Well,
like
fuck, don't even
Aeronautica
use the word epic. We wanted 40k IP, not 30k IP.
This also sounds like something I would say.
Like, who cares if you never even played epic?
Am I the Alex Jones 40k?
No, we're on the more reasonable side of fucking these rumors now. Like the
Yeah,
stuff.
but Rob said Alex Jones would say this stuff.
No, previous.
I'd
We
say-
left-
we left the
I was
Alex
just doing
Jones.
these by group, and then we can weigh in.
No,
on
no.
them.
The first,
Some-
the third group, he said one of these is sort of reasonable if you wear a tinfoil hat and listen to Alex Jones. Then we moved on from that. We talked about
Yeah,
we talked about Underworlds, which sounds reasonable. That it's underperforming because we want 40k IP, not 30k. That sounds reasonable. But anyone can make that statement because it's probably fucking true.
I think people have been screaming that since Titanicus. I also do want to mention that they kind of super paywalled Legion Imperialis. And the reason I say that is because all of the units that they previewed, the rules for them weren't even in the main rule book. You had to buy the 2 expansion books to get the rules for the units that came out around those times.
Shot
right?
themselves in the foot. You already had you were already trying to sell people on something they didn't totally want, and then you made it have like 3 extra steps. You fucked. You get fucked. Like, and somebody in chat just said something too. On the other side of that argument, that I did not empathize with, is from the position of a 30k fan. We want more 30k, not tiny 30k. So the 30k people want not tiny 30k, and the 40k people want tiny 40k. not tiny 30K. So kind of no one in this Venn
Mhm.
diagram actually wanted tiny 30K models.
Show have been doing that a lot, giving us stuff that nobody asked for.
Nobody asked for this shit.
Dude, if they had launched like Titanicus, but it was like Titans, Chaos Titans, Eldar, Ghost Titans, Stompas, Bio Titans, like come up with some hot new shit for Necron so they can play Titanicus. Come up with like some fucking Gundam Ultra Mech for Talos. So they can, dude, that would have been tight as fuck.
And for
But
how
like,
many years too? How many years have we been like, we need to overhaul this unit in like the Eldar Codex, and they overhauled every unit but that unit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
GW has a bad track record of actually giving us what we need in real time, what we're asking for.
Well, remember, it takes them,
Yeah, and that's
months,
why. That's why I said in
months.
real time.
Yeah.
In real time, they literally can't.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, but I guess we'll find out within about 18 months or so when the releases run out, and we either get more Legion Imperialis or not, or they pivot to some sort of new way to try to sell all those tiny models they got now. Which are awesome and cute, but I feel like
They
anybody
are.
that has a 3D
They are
printer,
awesome and they are cute for sure.
yeah.
Like,
Necromunda and Horus Heresy both sell very well and turn a profit, and will be the most stable games for the foreseeable future.
what were the two games? Or three?
Necromunda and Horus Heresy.
They're saying Necromunda and Horus Heresy the most stable games.
That's what the rumor is.
I mean, if you loosely define stable, meaning there is a group of nerds who only play those for the last
Who keep
20
buying
years.
them, and yeah.
Yeah. But
dude's full of shit.
you didn't use, well, you can define stable in that capacity. He didn't say profitable, which is why I take issue with this statement. Is like, it is absolutely not the most profitable. GW gives a fuck about profitability.
I don't even think they're stable.
Well, stable in the capacity that there's a group of people who endlessly play it for the last 15 years. And so if your number is really low, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, your number is a 1, and it never goes to 0, ever. Never goes up, never goes down. But this one's at a 10, it goes down to 5, back up to 10, back down to 3, back to 10. That's not stable, right? So you can define stability as never fluctuates from almost unplayed. Like, never fluctuates.
Based on the other things this person is saying, I definitely think
There's bias. There's an absolute bias.
I definitely think they are one of those people that thinks that like a rule set should come out for a game and then like never change in 20 years.
Yeah, and which is
Yeah, so
unsustainable.
this guy-
What I
yeah.
read into the word stable is that the rules for Necromunda and Horus Heresy are like stagnant and haven't changed at all. So he's like, these are the most stable games. So obviously they're perfect.
No, this guy is a 30K fucking old world ass
Did Arthur write
Necromunda
this,
nerd.
dude?
Yeah, this is Arthur. Arthur wrote
Did
this.
Arthur give this to you, Rob?
No.
Is the next thing that they're gonna bring
The
back
best model in
peasant
40K
archers
is a
from
peasant archer made of
1984?
pewter.
Anyways, I think people are about to get a little disenchanted with Necromunda because they went from the Underhive to the Ash Waste, and now they're going underground or something. Was the teaser from Adepticon, which,
To be honest, I forget Necromunda exists most of the year.
so it's like, oh, so you're going from the Underhive, which is underground, to the desert. Okay, but now you're going back underground, I guess. Maybe. I guess we'll see how that pans out, but I feel like it's basically Necromunda with extra steps. And I think people are just kind of on how GW is doing stuff because, we had the developer that works for Modifius now being like, yo, they made me write Necromunda in 3 months. Like, it wasn't my best work. And it literally, they took that dude's work that he did in 3 months, and they basically like stretched it out and milked every little cent out of it for like 6 years, right? And now they're hiring a new person for Necromunda because I guess they ran out of shit. So I think there's an inherent I agree with what Wyatt said about the stable games thing, but like, there's going to come a point where people are getting taken advantage of or feel like they're getting taken advantage of with the way they're putting these things out. And I think we're close to there for Legion Imperialis. I think people I made this point when it came out that that this doesn't have a lot of value. And I think people had their blinders on. They're like, no, I want Epic 40K, blah. GW was very upfront that it wasn't Epic 40K. Very upfront. Like, this is not Epic. This is Horus Heresy version. Right. And folks chose not to listen. They bought it, and now they got to buy a book to get the rules, to get the next units down the road. You don't even get all the rules to play the game in the core rulebook in the starter. And that's some bullshit. Like, shame on GW for that. Absolutely not. So, moving on to the next one. Middle Earth has seen a surprising uptick in sales this year, but with external licenses, its support will always be lesser than the rest, but don't expect it to go anywhere anytime soon.
I don't believe that. I don't believe there's an uptick in sales at all.
No,
There's no fucking possible way.
this is what the guy's bias. We know who he is now. It's Arthur.
It's Arthur.
I do believe that it's not going anywhere because Games Workshop will refuse to give up that IP
they won't
until
give up the
the heat
license.
death of the universe. But I don't believe it's all uptick in
They will
sales.
keep making models because that's the requirement to hold the license.
So
I also have a theory, based on this guy's language, that he is one of the guys that hangs out at Warhammer World, like all the time.
Oh yeah, here's things.
And so here's the other thing, like Lord of the Rings is not carried on shelves at retail locations.
No.
The only physical location I could fathom that Lord of the Rings is sold is Warhammer World. And this dude saying there's an uptick in Lord of the Rings sales, maybe like some of the Lord of the Rings stuff was sold at Warhammer World. That was this uptick in sales.
They went from 0 sales to 2.
Because what they do is they give you a kiosk, like a fold up cardboard kiosk with Lord of the Rings stuff for the holiday season at normal retail locations. Otherwise, they don't carry it. It's online order only.
It's true.
And I guarantee you, unless this dude is a corporate level employee, which he's obviously not because he wouldn't be leaking this information on 4chan because they have to sign like actual big boy NDAs. Nobody knows what their sales numbers are. Like, the only time like even a store level manager knows what like sales numbers are outside of his own location is when you go to quarterly manager meetings at like a regional corporate meetup. And even then, they don't give you everything.
Yep. And I think recently, talking to folks that left the company, and listening to other folks talk online about how it was to work for GW, that they treated it like the CIA, or they said MI6. Like, people would be working on one thing and they wouldn't know what the dudes in the next office next to them were working on. So there's no way that one person at GW, unless they were very higher up, had access to all of this.
Is this guy the QAnon of GW? Like, he's the
This is Q, dude.
Is this
He
the Q?
shifted.
This is the Q drop.
Yeah, like all the Trump stuff is down.
Oh,
nobody
shit.
cares. So
Yeah.
now he's like doing investigative, hard-nosed journalism to get the inside scoop.
So this is our Q drop. Do we get it every week now? Like, what's the sitch?
No, you
yes,
gotta sign
I
up for
hope so.
Telegram, dude.
God, I hope so, because this is just free content right here.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck real stuff. This is what I want to do now. This is
You're gonna like this one. Expect more than Stormcast Eternals to get a large range discontinuing.
peasant with fucking crossbows to replace Stormcast with bows.
You know what your next t-shirt needs to be, Kenny? You need to make a drawing of a peasant archer, and it has the text like "greatest of all time."
The greatest goat.
The goat.
This is interesting though. He basically alluded to the fact that GW wants the customer to be replaced in their army every 3 to 4 years. Long enough to grow attached emotionally, but not long enough to be unwilling to buy another. Let me tell you right now, you change my models every 3 to 4 years, I'm just not going to play 40K anymore. Like, it's bad enough that you got to learn a new rule set every 3 to 4 years, which I'm down with. I'm okay with that. But you're not going to replace my models. And GW, first of all, can't. They can't even get shit out the door.
They
right
can't
now.
afford that, dude.
Yeah,
They can't
right.
afford
there's still like
to fully replace ranges every 4 years. That's
there's
not.
still core aspects of most 40k factions that are like over a decade old.
Yep. This means that a few army sub factions are going away in the next 2 years. Okay.
Somebody said that part of that is he said that Harlequins are going to cease to exist, and I'm like, you're so full of shit.
They did say that. At
This
some
dude,
point.
this dude lost to like Harlequin vehicle spam at one point, and
That's why he
turned
hates
into a butthurt
40k,
Larry.
and that's why he plays Old Worlds, Necromunda, fucking Peasants
Play
Crossbows.
stupid aliens. I want to just go play Space Marines, jerking off with
Yeah.
Space Marines.
So jerk off Space Marines, jerking off Space Marines.
And then last but not least for this section, for AOS, Dispossessed and any High Elf, Wood Elf models outside of Residence, some Dark Elves will be retired. Others moving into other battle tomes such as Daughters of Cain. It's unconfirmed, but don't expect Fire Slayers to be around forever either.
Oh, and he hates dwarves because he got owned by a beardy dwarf player.
Yeah.
So I think there's some stuff in here that's probable, but not.
Oh, you skipped one of the biggest things, Rob.
What?
This dude, Kenny, this dude said, unironically, that the entire Grey Knight faction would cease to exist as an army, and that you would only be able to take them as individual ally units to other Imperium armies.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the longest, like, dude, one of the most popular Space Marine factions that has been ongoing since when did they come out? Like 3rd or 4th edition? Like
as a standalone army, they
Fifth.
came
As a
out
standalone
in
army.
Fifth. So
Fifth?
five.
They were demon hunters in 4th.
So they started their career as he says. That's how they started, and then they quickly
Mhm.
became one of the most popular and beloved things. And they got their first release in 5th. So 5 editions of Grey Knights, and they were here since 4th. Like 4th, the Demon Hunter Codex is 4th.
4th, yeah.
So
2005,
So literally 6 editions they've
I
existed.
think.
I mean, that's a
almost
preposterous.
20 years.
So he got his dick slapped off in 5th edition by Purifier spam.
But there were Grey Knight models in the late 80s though.
Yeah, I mean one of the first Deathwing box sets, right? Or not? I mean, no. What's the thing that Mike Haspel loves? Space Hulk.
They weren't in there, but
No?
there were models for it, like standalone dudes.
Prestigious, preposterous.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, and like Wyatt said, Death Guard, AdMech, Gene Steelcall, and the Astartes all losing units. Harlequin's gone completely. Grey Knight's going to Universal Allies. Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Well, he's telling us who hurt him. Who didn't he list? Who didn't he list? Space Marines?
No, he said Marines.
Oh, Marines.
Dude obviously only plays word bearers in 30k. That's the energy I'm getting from
That's
this.
the energy.
That could be it. And
This dude unironically loves word bearers, which is like, ugh.
This is where it gets super weird. So both major titles will see another attempt at Everchosen / Eye of Terror mini battle tomes codexes intended for narrative smaller size games. The first 2 are Battletome Bloody Crusade and Codex Imperial Agents, releasing this autumn. I don't think he means Everchosen. I think he got Sigmar mixed up with Fantasy. I think he meant Storm of Chaos. But whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that could happen, I suppose. Then he's got the self-titled Wattsification of GW. That's Wizards of the Coast ification. At the advice of shareholders and U.S. consultants, smaller, faster games with more focus on ease of entry, the combat patrol and spear tips are intended to function like Magic the Gathering pre-constructed commander decks. Expensive lifestyle products that a player can buy, put together, and have balanced games against each other. The intent over time is less players with 30k points of Dark Angels and more players with 2,000 points of every army range.
So they might
Dude, this
so
guy's also throwing out some dog whistle type stuff like
oh, I
hating
love it.
on Wizards of the Coast.
No, I love it. It's so
This
it's
guy only plays like 3.5 D&D and
Mhm.
calls you a slur if you play 5th edition D&D.
Yeah, we got a few people commenting and answer some of our questions earlier. Jeffrey White, he mentioned 1987, 1988 is when the first Rogue Trader era, when Portal Malice was brought up, the history of the Great
Yep.
Knights. And so that's so old. And Zenmu brought up a point where it's like, well, if they discontinue Great Knights, does that just mean they're going to be Primaris? Like, yeah, good point.
Well, they will be Primaris because they're too small right now. They're basically firstborn size.
Yeah.
So that they will absolutely replace all of those plastics as soon as
I
possible.
love this. This is hilarious content. This fucking, bro, like,
This dude's probably a moderator on the incel subreddit.
I would like, absolutely. Like, no, obviously. But, like, I hope this guy keeps doing drops.
Yeah, dude.
Like, we got to do a second podcast just to cover the drops. At this
I wish we
point.
knew his username.
God
So we
damn it.
just
Like, fucking Bro Chad 69.
There he is, bro. Can we call him? Nah.
I mean, fuck.
Do you want to keep going or?
Oh, I mean, okay, so I'm canceling the custodians talk for today.
For
Because
next week when we actually have the rules?
Yeah,
So much
we'll read them, and who cares? This is what I care about now. If there's more, continue, please.
Oh, there's way more.
Yes, continue.
All right. With the rise in alternate hobby products such as paints and tools, the range of Citadel paints is being reduced. If something has an option where a contrast paint can fill the role of both, expect the base layer of said color to go away. Primers are also being cut down to Gray Seer, Cast Black, Mechanicus Standard, Gray, Iron Warriors, Andrew Dust, and Death Guard Green.
actually
Interesting. That's an interesting one. So, like, if GW is all in on the speed paint and they acknowledge that they're just never going to make paints like, for example, Monument, and after talking to, like, you know, Jason all weekend at fucking Depticon, and coming to understand a little bit more about, like, what makes his paint superior.
Right.
And then also him, like, he called out, like, 2 other manufacturers that do what he does specifically that is different than everyone else. So GW is kind of acknowledging, like, we're never going to be that, and these people are going to keep outperforming us on the quality side. So let's just double down on speed paint. Let's just double down on, like, people get it, like, you know, like, why compete with that? Like,
Honestly, here I got a good point for this. Honestly, I hope they do this because it would drive people to other businesses. Because the majority of people who paint, they lock into a paint scheme, like they have their little recipe book, like Rob, and they want to be able to color match
Forever.
something. And they don't want to use their eyeball to color match something, right? They want another company to tell them that their paint is color matched this old paint,
and they'll just go to that company.
and they'll just buy that. So Games Workshop is like, we're getting rid of like XV88. That the Tau player who only paints his stuff with XV88 is like, well, I'll just go buy the Army Painter version. So I want them to do this. I want Games Workshop to destroy their paint industry so that people start using better paint.
I'm with it. Rob?
I mean, it could happen. Could definitely happen. Yeah, so that's interesting. But remember, paints are a big part of what they do. So I would be very skeptical of this one, just in general. Then they said the COVID boom is over and cost cuts are happening to avoid increases in outgoings. That's some sort of overseas speak. I don't know what
That's
that means.
gibberish. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and they spelled color the English way. So
I love it because he's maintaining his status as an undercover whistleblower who is a high-level GW representative. I am fucking the detail.
Dude obviously hangs out at Warhammer World, and probably nobody likes him. He's that guy.
So the next part is a little weird. No chaos dwarfs are happening. No chaos dwarfs aren't happening. He really needs to use some commons.
Chaos dwarves are not happening. Remember, again, dwarf hate. Got it.
Dwarf
We've previously established his dwarf hate.
So you kind of overplays his hand in the
Mhm.
last comment. We'll get back to that.
Okay. The old world sold a lot of Tomb King models, but very few Bretonians by comparison. But kind of contradicts what he said in the previous posts, I guess. So that's why I didn't
Tomb
get
Kings are more popular. Got it. We know this. This is normal. Like,
right. Well, they're actually not, from what I've seen. I've seen basically everybody sold out of Bretonian stuff. So I don't
oh,
know.
so you're saying
I don't. I think that might be incorrect there, but we'll see. Uh, the high up old guard dinosaurs are really not happy with people like Peachy and Suggs giving insider secrets and getting people on social media to
isn't this
demand
literally
artist
what
credit.
he's doing? Continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
I guess so, yes. And getting people on social media to demand artist credit on paint jobs.
He's saying, I love this too, because if you dissect this, remember he's taking a position of like, I'm doing you guys a public servant. I'm taking a lot of risks, guys. My job is compromised. I'm the whistleblower, and I'm letting you guys know, like GW, this big corporate entity, they fucking hate the guys you love. Like I'm with you guys. I'm on your side. Like it's like he's doubling down on that like emotion.
Yep.
Like
I see what you're saying.
it's like, yeah. Like obviously GW doesn't want to give artists credit on fucking boxes. Like the credit was the paycheck. Like
Mm-hmm. Yep.
mhm.
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
I mean, well, like GW, like on that subject, use Peachy as the name. Like Duncan became so famous for
Yes.
Games Workshop. He became their spokesperson on the level of like Flo from Progressive, right? That's the only face in your brain associated with the brand, right? So GW, face in a head, Duncan. Duncan is GW. Duncan is GW. That is just a guy who had a job there in a fucking department who fucking, became more important to their company in the public's eyes than the CEO. So
Mhm.
the amount of risk associated with having an vetted spokesperson for your entire brand that's not contracted and paid correctly, that risk is so high. Duncan could have done something. He could have been like one of these NFL players who like got drunk at a nightclub and like did something fucked up. That could take their stocks, dude. Like,
Yep.
so
It's
like
true.
and all of this is just opinion and speculation, but like, as I've said before, Duncan didn't like, I don't believe he just walked away. I believe they had a meeting and they said, what would it take? We need to get rid of this relationship and we need to start a new relationship. And there was a severance package, probably non-complete clause for a certain amount of time. There probably was a set of rules and regulations that he had to follow once to get his severance package. Like, they don't want that ever to happen again. And so making people famous is against that. Like, so they need to, like, they're a publicly traded company, bro. You can't have like a dude like change your public perception by his opinions on Twitter. Like,
That is true. That would be a problem. But they're trying to pivot to James Workshop, which is a paid actor. So, because you can get rid
but
of
that's the
those
thing.
anytime.
You have to enter into a relationship correctly. If it's an actor,
Right.
it's an actor. The different set of contracts, entertainment contracts, like entertainment law. It's completely different. Not
Mm-hmm.
this guy just has a regular ass job at our fucking company and he can actually come into the fucking office and demand things from us. Like, this is bad.
Yeah, that could be
He's like, look
bad.
at this Twitter I just wrote. I'm gonna press send on it unless you know what I mean. He can literally. Wait, is this guy Duncan?
I don't know.
Sorry, that's my whole Duncan conspiracy. I rode an elevator with him once.
You're basically BFFs, I think, at this point.
Any more?
What's
Give me,
yeah.
give me one more. We're over time.
Um, The White Dwarf sells terribly, and despite changes to insert cards, rules, and more painting guides, the internet's largely made it redundant, and they have just been holding on for the big issue 500. It's almost been canceled twice in the last 5 years, and will probably go all digital or on hiatus in the next year.
I'm torn on that one. What's your opinion on that, Rob?
I think a printed mag. So the White Dwarf, they have a really great team, a lot of talented staff writing it and producing a lot of features for it. But yeah, I mean, I don't see why it's not online at this point.
I mean, the sales are definitely terrible, no doubt. But GW loves pretty shit. I mean, so that's what I mean. It's
True.
like, I feel like the statement is true on the sales side, like no doubt, and it would obviously be better digital, and it is mostly redundant because of the internet. But GW sucks the dick of printing their own shit. But only if they make money on it. Ooh.
Yeah,
They
the
definitely-
juice has to be worth the squeeze for
Yeah,
them.
yeah. So yeah, I can see that one being real. What do you think, Wyatt? Have you bought a White Dwarf anytime recently?
Maybe. Dude, I haven't bought a White Dwarf since like 2012. Buying a White Dwarf.
Have you thumbed through one in the last decade?
Probably not since I worked the store. So that was what,
Because it was free on the counter and you thumbed through it.
2018? 2019 maybe?
So you thumbed through a White Dwarf in 2018.
Yeah.
I don't even think I've seen one in 10 years.
I haven't been inside of a Games Workshop location since like 2018, 2019.
Yeah, the probably just, as LT said, Chad, they probably just added it because before when they tried the app, it sucked. But now that they got Warmer Plus, they might just throw it in there.
They could.
I can see that being accurate. So, okay, and then they'll hold out for the SU 500, which would be the big collector edition for all the people who want to complete their collection, because there are collectors out there, who collect this stuff. So this sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
He's got to thread some
mean-
reasonable ones in there.
Ever since they changed their stance on publishing hobby content that goes outside of the bounds of they're very they're more like modern kind of corporate style, because I mean there's still there's still White Dwarf articles floating around online of how to do these sick conversions, but they use plastic art and all sorts of
Yeah.
other stuff like sculpting and
They don't
this
like
kind
that.
of thing.
Yeah, that'll
They're
work.
yes, whenever they stop doing those types of hobby tutorials, I think it lost a lot of the prestige, a lot of the draw for getting it. And then also for the longest time, people would only buy White Dwarfs because it was oh, here's this codex supplement that comes out in a White Dwarf.
Yep. They would
And when
definitely sell more of them.
Yeah, and so when they stopped doing that too, it's why would we buy this? It's this is a bunch of nothing content.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they started doing that again, even though I think White Dwarf supplements is bad for the game, if they started doing maybe crusade stuff, here's a new character you can add into your crusade for something like that, and they started doing cool, useful hobby stuff again that wasn't buy from the box, paint the box art kind of hobby stuff. Maybe it would give value, but they're not going to do that.
Well, sorry that we didn't come back to the custodies content. Drivers at home. This I'll take.
We'll just clickbait you next week.
I'll take the blame on this one, and I'll do my best to name this episode something hilarious like GW CEO tells all on 4chan.
GW Infowars.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Their turn. Christopher
Games Workshop
said-
turned the Lizardmen gay.
No. He said they turned the lizardmen into old ones. I like it.
All right.
So good.
Well, let's fucking jump out of here then. Wyatt, I'm glad you're back. Made it back to your apartment. But you want to take us out of here?
Rob?
I really enjoyed when I was just able to do this by myself.
Fuck you then.
It's just kidding. I'm glad you're back, buddy. I'm glad you're back. All right, so that's it for this one. Oh, did he leave?
Yeah. He said, fuck you, and he left.
Oh, wow. Dang. Well then. Where was I at? Oh, line. So that's it for this one. For exclusive content, early access videos, and more, make sure to head on over to thelongwar.net today. He's just like rage quit.
Imagine he's just taking a leave.
Probably
All
not
right,
go back,
let's set up some raids. We're gonna do a Long War Index of Opinion raid. We're gonna I see. Oh, Wicked Minis is on. I'd like to raid him during regular broadcast hours. See if we can raid Wicked Minis.
Yeah, let me.
Oh, it's Wednesday. It's right. We have different people online.
Yeah. Barely ready. I guess there's a lot of different folks on.
Wicked Minis. Queuing up a raid. Long. This is the next level mini raid.
Okay.
Wicked _ minis.
Yep.
Queuing up to two-pronged attack. Be heading on over. Remember to bring the length, the girth, and the positivity to our boy. Say what's up. Tell him that we got a new podcast night. Thank you, LT, for the reminder. Fist on 9. Yep, I'm in Florida. He did come late. This is a new time, though, so people are going to have to get used to it.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for stopping in on the weird day.
Recoil said classic ending. What a thing. Right. Deployed my raid. How about you?
Yep. He's there.